The one thing that an athlete would never want to be is vulnerable. Of course they all are, they're human, but it's so important to project an impenetrable persona on the field of play. But one of the world's top rugby stars says that being vulnerable has helped him become an even better player. Sonny Bill Williams converted to Islam 10 years ago, becoming the first Muslim to play for the All Blacks, and he was a key part of their greatest period of success, winning back-to-back World Cups in 2011 and then 2015. The All Blacks are revered in New Zealand, but the country was especially grateful for Williams' leadership in the aftermath of the mosque attack this year, which left more than 50 people dead. Sonny Bill Williams has been speaking with Alex Thomas about the faith that set him free.
When it comes to players or athletes performing in their 30s, they're doing it all over the world these days. You know, the advancement of sports science and whatnot, and how you eat. And you know, for myself, I've been a Muslim for 10 years, over 10 years, and it's just clean, living clean. You know, is really helped me still be, I guess, at the top of my game.
Did you make the choice to convert to become a better man or to become a better athlete?
My soul was yearning for something, and I didn't know what that was. I was young, I was, I guess, insecure. All I knew was footy, and all I knew was rugby and rugby league, and that game actually defined who I was. If I had a good game, then I felt like I was a good person. If I had a bad game, I wouldn't want to leave the house. And I think that's what Islam has given me. It's allowed me to be vulnerable enough to step into certain situations, environments, and lead and thrive and put myself out there. And all of those added up, you know, along the journey of which is sport. It's a roller coaster up and down. All of those lessons have definitely made me the man I am today.
If you hadn't become a Muslim, do you think you would still have achieved as much as you have done on the sports field?
No.
You've also become a bit of a Muslim figurehead, really, as well. Do you mind that? Do you embrace that?
Yeah, definitely. I think over time, as I've become more confident in the person, the man that I am, I think in today's society, we've been taught to almost be embarrassed of Islam, to be embarrassed because of the few bad apples that are out there.
Do you think too many Western countries have the wrong idea about Islam?
You know, I'm not a politician, brother. I just do me. I try not to delve into things that I don't really know too much about.
But it came very close to home, didn't it, with the Christchurch shootings?
100%. And like I said, I don't like to delve into areas that I don't know too much about. But at that time, being a New Zealander, being in New Zealand, probably being one of the most recognised Muslims in the country, being an All Black, I knew I represented both sides of the coin, and I was hurting. You know, I know New Zealanders were hurting, Muslims were hurting, so I had to step up. I had to, you know, get into that space and be vulnerable. And, you know, sometimes I didn't know what I was doing, but I knew that I was trying to be positive. And I think as New Zealanders, we've really led the way in that space, in talking about the elephant in the room.
What did you make of the way your country's Prime Minister, Jacinda Ardern, handled it at that time?
Yeah, it was special. I take my hat off to her. And I think, you know, I'm just hoping that those conversations continue to happen, changes continue to happen, and also not just for the Muslim community, for all you know, minorities that are struggling and that are facing racism, because you know it's a big issue in the world today. And like I said, I'm not a politician, but I just try and do what I feel is right. And I guess I'm grateful and blessed that sport has allowed me to use that vehicle to push, I guess, a bit more positivity out there into the world.